Welcome back to Ravens Today. Please make sure to subscribe and like the video. I'm your host, Connor Gioffreda, giving you all the latest updates on anything and all things Ravens. Let's dive into some updates on the undrafted free agents that the Ravens have picked up. First one is the Ravens have signed undrafted UNC pass rusher Kamon Rucker. He is a former All-ACC pass rusher. He had 22 sacks over 4 seasons in his time at UNC. Unfortunately, in his final season, he fractured his fibula and was out for the remainder of the season in his senior year. And this is why he was undrafted, because he fractured his fibula. He is, still recovering from that injury. But the Ravens have decided to take, some level of confidence in him and sign him to the roster. I don't know if he's going to remain on the roster or make the 52. He might be, an investment down the line, but I guess we'll see. His signing does bring the roster to the 90 max that the Ravens need. So he kind of just fills in the gap a little bit there. I mean, he could have some potential in, in being a part of this Ravens team. We do need some pass rusher depth. And maybe we can see him put on the purple in a starting job down the line, but we'll have to wait and see what happens there. I'm not really certain if this is going to happen. He might just be, there for the training camp, and the Ravens are just going to cut him when they have to make cuts for their roster. But we'll have to wait and see. I mean, I did say that he is still recovering, but he is willing and able enough to be able to be a part of training camp, being a part of the summer. He probably has recovered already, but he's still in that mental recovery phase, if I may say, where he's just trying to prove himself and get back to the form he had been in before. Because 22 sacks over 4 seasons is pretty impressive. I mean, you're talking about 7.5 sacks. Well, that's over 3 seasons. More like, almost 5-6 sacks per season. It's pretty good. I mean, it's promising to look at, and the Ravens always need a pass rusher depth. So, trying to take a chance with him, it could pay off. But I guess we'll see. Moving on, we have another undrafted free agent signing with the Ravens have signed kicker John Hoyland. Probably a kicker battle brewing here because, with the departure of Justin Tucker, we all thought that Loop would be the one taking the kicks now on, but now Eric DeCosta is kind of thinking, well, let's see, It's just new blood in Baltimore. Ronnie Stanley, who I'll get to in a bit, is the longest tenured Raven now, but Justin Tucker was formerly, and now it's Ronnie Stanley. And, we're just trying to bring in the next big kicker that we can pick up. And Hoyland could be that guy. He is from Wyoming, and he just made short of 80% of his kicks in Wyoming. And that's not bad, but again, it's still some level of improvement there. But again, it's the NFL. He can have a really long career like Tucker had with the Ravens, but he has to get through Loop first, and I think that there will be some form of kicker starting job battle that throughout training camp, and we will see who will be the kicker leading forward for the Ravens. I think it's going to be Loop, just based off of the the stats that he produced, the showcase that he had. But we'll see. I mean, maybe there's something there that we haven't seen yet from Hoyland, but I do think that Loop is going to be the kicker moving forward. Also, moving on, we got some tackle insurance here on the offensive line. Ravens signed undrafted free agent Lucas Scott for a tackle from Army. Really, this is just an insurance pick for me. I mean, you can never go wrong with too many offensive linemen. I mean, if Lucas does make the team, it's good for him. It's good for the depth of the offensive line because Lord knows we need it, especially at the guard position. But I don't see him, really staying on the team. Maybe a practice squad member, but I think that the Ravens offensive line could be ready to go in terms of who's the starting, who the Ravens are going to look for the starting position, especially with the new the picks they had in the draft, and any of the free agents they picked up. I think that this Lucas is just there for insurance. He's just going to be maybe a special teams guy at the most. I just don't see this pick going any farther than that. I mean, I'm hoping for him that he can, be a diamond in the rough and kind of show off in camp, prove himself in camp, and maybe he does get a spot on the roster. But I just don't see that happening at this point in time. But again, we'll just have to monitor not just him, but all of the undrafted free agents that the Ravens pick up, and let's see if anyone just really shines during when the training camp really picks up. Also, this moving on. Speaking of offensive line, Ronnie Stanley has finally spoken about his injuries that he suffered in the last couple of years, more in depth, really. In the 2020 season, after signing that mega contract with the Ravens, you know, had that gruesome injury against Pittsburgh, and then was able to come back for one game in 2021, but then had an ankle injury. He had that complete deltoid tear in that Pittsburgh game. It was really, you could hear him. It was bad, and it was just like I personally did not see Ronnie Stanley coming back for a long time, and we didn't see him come back for a long time. He had this to say about those said injuries. He was told not to fight through the pain because it would just make the recovery worse. He wanted to be back on that field so bad, but he just couldn't do it. Like, he was told by team doctors, he was told by physicians, he was told by rehab specialists, do not speed this process up, please. It is way too risky to do, and it is way too, you just need to take this one day at a time. And we were fortunate enough that he was able to start all 17 games last season. It was incredible. And he was at 100% Ronnie Stanley again. And that we saw before he was injured. And it was amazing to watch. And he got rewarded for it with another contract extension, 3 years, $60 million. But he also, while we did see him back to 100%, he did say that he just was afraid to be back on that field, and he wanted to be able to get over that fear, like the fear and anxiety that he felt. He after going through all of that, fans turned their back against him, myself included. I thought that Ronnie Stanley's time was done after that injury, and I thought that the Ravens should definitely start looking at more options at that left tackle position. Instead of trying to fill in any gaps with McCary, with Ravens fans, if you remember Villanueva, that was awful. I hope the Ravens never go that route ever again by getting a longtime Steeler on the team, and especially in a position where that Lamar is blindsided by. I don't even want to go there. But anyway, the Ravens basically bet on Ronnie Stanley to come back to full form, and it worked. And Ronnie realized, and as he said, that there was no time for anxiety, no time for fear. He had to go out there and play again, and he got over it, and it was fantastic. Again, like I said, rewarded with a contract extension, and played all 17 games on the Ravens last season, and it's just great that he was able to get over that hump, and I'm glad that he's back and our left tackle full-time again. I will keep you all updated. As of this video, the schedule has not been released yet, but as the next video will be going over the schedule, because the schedule does release on Wednesday, which is going to be today, and I'm so excited to see who we play that week 1 game, all our home games, all our away games. I will keep you all updated on all that. My name is Connor Gioffreda. Thank you for tuning in to Ravens Today. I hope you guys have a good one. Subscribe, like the video. I'm out.